Today I'll be talking about what is known as the witch wound or the light workers persecution imprint. I've spoken of the light workers persecution imprint before, very briefly, and I kind of went through how, because of past life issues as well as childhood issues, it has come to be. And I just got a download about how the witch wound came to be, and it's linked to being ungrounded in your practices as a witch. The thing is, we live in a 3D reality, right? So when we do, and we are like, there is a third dimensional earth that we live in. And in excuse me, throat chakra, interesting. So in order to live in the 3D reality, we need to be grounded, we need to be practical, we need to make sure everybody around us is in harmony, or at least not, make people too uncomfortable that they lash out. And that is the crux of the witch wound. Like, why do people talk about a witch wound? It's because people feel persecuted, people feel like they're accused of being witches, and like, oh, you're doing something wrong, you're evil, you're bad, blah blah blah. And I'm like, it's interesting, why would you evoke such a response from people? It's because you're triggering them. And why you're triggering them is because possibly, this is my theory, it's possible that it's because one is being unembodied, one is not grounded in your witch practices, and when you're embodied, you live your truth. And if one is practicing witchcraft out of wanting to seek validation, seeking attention, to please the ego instead of living your truth, it's gonna trigger people, because people know, when you're being honest, people know when you're being authentic. If that's vibes don't lie. And I feel that there's a lot of people who practice witchcraft or, like light work out of wanting to appease the ego, wanting to be more superior, wanting to be more like seen. They want to get attention, they want to get validation, they want to get like money, that sort of thing, instead of being absolutely like living from the truth, like being, instead of like, you pretend to be something that you're not, if that makes sense. So how do you heal the witch wound or the light workers persecution imprint? The answer is, it feels like it's to be grounded, to live from your truth, to share what you know and feel and be to be truth, instead of like, oh, I'm doing this, blah blah blah. Do you know what I mean? Like, if you're doing it just to gain validation, just to get people to say, oh, you're doing that, that's so cool, that is gonna invite like stuff, that's gonna invite unwanted energies that you can't handle, because you're not grounded, if that makes sense. Like, you need to be grounded in order to be in like energies that question, energies that are curious, energies that don't like it, or trigger, like, if people find it unfamiliar, it might trigger them if they've got that issue too. Like, crabs, when they climb, when they're like put in a bucket, they and one wants to climb out, like other crabs try to like pull them down in order to help themselves climb out, if that makes sense. So it's kind of the same. Like, we try to keep each other in check. So the key is to be embodied and not to rock the boat too much. And I know, like, to instigate change, you need to rock the boat kinda, but the thing is, sustainable change happens slowly. It takes time, because all the cooperative components need to be in place. And for it to be sustainable, you can't just like, build a tall building. Okay, the analogy is a bit funny. To create sustainable change, it would be good for everyone to kind of build together instead of like one person going far ahead, that sort of thing. Like that would be difficult to make sense of or to follow. Like there is no modeling in place, there is no role modeling in place. Like that's what I feel about humanity. Like we need to go forward as a group and not as an individual, because if we all rise, we rise together, and that is the point of ascension. And yeah, the key is to stay grounded in 3D reality, because we live here after all. It's a beautiful place. Make the best use of it and have a lovely one.